Welcome to another episode of What's the Hype podcast.
The building. And an interception, and you're not down by 10 anymore. Andre Hal, his second interception.
To get you the information that you need when you start your own business and do your own thing.
And I felt like it gave me a good perspective.
I was not the first person to go through what I went through.
So after you went undrafted, as you mentioned, you signed with Green Bay. Just talk about your thoughts walking in that locker room with like Aaron Rodgers, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Charles. I think Charles Wilson was there too at that time, wasn't he? And then one of my favorite, of course, former Bethune-Cookman Wildcat Nick Collins. But just talk about kind of walking into the locker room with those type of guys.
Man, it was a surreal moment. It felt so big. Like it felt like you're among kind of like the who's who of the NFL. And I'm a cat, man. Like I'm no ego. Like, listen, like Charles Wilson, I watched you when I was in the 6th grade. My homeboy had pictures of you all over his wall. Like, I'm not finna act like, oh, I don't know you, I don't see you. But I ain't gonna jack ride you either. But it was just amazing seeing that team that you walk into that's ready made. You talking about guys like Aaron Rodgers, AJ Hawk, Clay Matthews was a draft pick that year, BJ Raji, Charles Wilson, Al Harris, and just the receiver room alone, bro. Like Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, James Jones, Jordy Nelson, another cat, Ravel Martin, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, bro. Like, wait, so this roster is 53 people, right? And I'm going around. It's like, man, like he gonna make it. They're gonna keep, how many receivers? Like 5 or 6 receivers. I'm like, okay, so Driver's gonna be here, Jordy's gonna be here, Greg's gonna be here, James gonna be here. So it's like you really fighting for like the last maybe 1 or 2 spots, and they love him. Like, bro, I don't know how this is gonna work out, Wow. But bro, you just. It was something that I don't take for granted. I'm appreciative for really where I landed, for the amount of professionalism and for the amount that I learned, especially like in the receiver room. Greg, learning from them guys as from a position group, it really just taught me so much from a receiver standpoint. I felt like I couldn't be guarded, after like sitting up with them and then, like, seeing Aaron making throws that my college quarterback would have never thought to make, Like, I never forget, it's probably like the second day of OTAs. Play was breaking down, and I was like, oh, the play over, you know what I mean? Like, it's done. And he just a flick of the wrist, and the ball, had so many, like, revolutions on it. Just right there, like, in the breadbasket, bro, like, just on a dime, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, my God, like, this is something totally different, what I'm used to. But I thought it was a great franchise, great place to start off and jump off. And then just the people that you had around you, I remember going against Al Harris for the first time. And Al is like a tall, like slender looking dude, but like Al is strong as hell though. Like Al will put the paws on you. And and bro, I never forget, I ran like a comeback, and I dropped out my break. And normally, like you running, you get out your break, and you coming back to the ball. Normally, like the DB is kind of like on your hip pocket, kind of like in your back hip. I turned around, and he was cheating on the play, but Al was looking at me as I turned around. Like he had completely stopped. He's like, I knew you was coming back. Wow. I'm like, bro, I was like, you just. So you just, did you know the play? Or like, what's up? I was like, man, I ain't get it. And then just, just all the things that you learn, man. Like Tramon Williams, Nick Collins, like just all those guys, man, how they prepared their bodies and like, it was just, it was some next level stuff, man. It like took what I thought I worked hard and I thought I prepared, but like seeing what they did, it just brought it up to a whole nother level.
So what was the NFL moment as it relates to being in business?
I pulled my hamstring. My rookie year. I was doing, was doing good. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know if I was gonna kick out one of like the last guys at the receiver spot, but I definitely was gonna make, practice squad. and I pulled it. I never forget. I pulled my left one. And as soon as I did, I was like, man, I'm a guy that, I ran the hurdles in high school, flexible, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I'm not understanding. How did I pull a hammy? Like, and I didn't overextend or anything. It just grabbed on me, got real tight. And so, couldn't practice, couldn't finish, and they trying to, I'm never really been hurt before. Agents telling me, how it all goes. And, I'm just kind of hearing everybody, kind of hearing the whispers, like, bro, you got to get back. You got to get back. You got to get back. I'm just like, bro, like, don't think I'm not trying, you know what I mean? Like, believe me, like, I see everybody out here working and doing their thing, and I'm just sitting up here with ice and stem and trying to, get it back right. But it was that, and I remember I was sitting in the calf, and it happened how it happened. They put me. I went through basically like a little test workout, mini workout, whatever. And they, ran me through it. And like, you think you can practice? Later on, whatever. I was like, man, I give it a go. Like, I'm just trying to do it at this point. Because I didn't have any. It was before the first preseason game. None of that. I didn't have any tape. So I was like, man, I gotta at least get some tape so that other teams can get a chance to see me. And I was like, I'm gonna try to go. They got me out. I did one little practice, or like a walkthrough or something. I was like, all right, he practiced. And like in the NFL, as soon as you basically like you're considered cleared at that point, man, they put me on the field that evening or something. And next morning, at it was like breakfast or lunch or something. Dude came, Ted Thompson, matter of fact, came to me, was like, hey, basically, hey, so we like you, Pat, you know what I mean, but we gotta move on. We gotta. You've been hurt. We're gonna put you on, I think, IR for the next however long. Probably do an injury settlement, and we're gonna waive you. And I was just like, at that, this is like all foreign language to me. So he's sitting there talking to me, and I'm just like, oh, okay. And as soon as he leaves, I'm on the phone with my agent. Hey, yeah, they're gonna do this. And in a little bit, you kind of hurt a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it's like you've been going through camp with these guys, and like you want your opportunity to shine, man. You want your opportunity to make a play and show that you belong. But I didn't get it my rookie year. So that was the first time. It's like, man, like these injuries, like the best ability is availability. Yeah.
Right. And you just, again, that's just another thing that I want people to be aware of. Like you said, they almost cleared you for practice and probably knew that you wouldn't be able to really perform. But then the business, right? Like this is how it operates.
Yeah, they know.
So again, that's just part of it. Just again making sure people are aware of that. But eventually, you end up, signing practice squad, and can you talk about just what it was like to finally end up getting called up to an active roster? Like, talk about that experience.
Yeah. So let me go back to even like the the injury settlement. Like I had to sit at home for like the first, 5 weeks or something like that. My agent was like, man, just get healthy. You can go to this rehab facility, it's all paid for, all that kind of stuff. Do that. You're kind of on hold a little bit, and you're doing your rehab, doing all that kind of stuff. He said, all right, well, as soon as you tell me that you're ready, like we're gonna get you going. I was like, all right, for sure. And so it was probably about like the 5th or 6th week. I was like, hey, I'm good. I can go. And sure enough, the next week I was available to go. He's like, all right, we'll say Green Bay gonna bring you back. They had somebody get hurt. He tore his ACL. They need some guys, and they like you, so get ready to go. And it's kind of like butterflies all over again. Like I don't know what to expect from a workout and all that kind of stuff. But you get there and it's all small. Hey, Pat, man, good to have you back. Da da da. Glad to see you. Whoop de whoop. All right, for sure. All right, what we got to do? And it was me and another guy, Byron Ely. And, he had been, I think he had like a year or two on me or something. But, so we, we went through our workout or whatever, and they ended up signing him to the active roster, and they signed me to the practice squad. So I wasn't tripping. I was like, listen, I'm getting paid. Like, man, we good to go. And long story short, like, I guess I did my thing so much in practice that they were like, man, like, I think we need to switch these two, you know what I'm saying? So they switched us out, and I ended up going active like the last, I want to say like 4 or 5 games or whatever in Green Bay. which was cool. Just because it's like, man, like all right, so like you know, you feel like you're making like an ascension. You know what I mean? Like I'm showing something. It's like a promotion almost. And so yeah, I was just man, I was happy to make the trip. I was waiting just to like get my number called, man, to do my thing. But it was all love. It was all learning experience on the fly. You don't really know. You just same approach, man. You know, do what you know to do. You know, have your body prepared. You know your assignments and be ready to go if your number's called.
And it happens so fast. And Dre and I just being around organization, man, it happens so fast. You can literally be unemployed or not with a team and be within a week on the field with another team. Like it happens, it can really happen that fast, or on the practice squad most of the year, or or coming on the practice squad in 1 week and next week you active. You know what I mean? Like it happens really fast.
Yeah. And that's the thing too about like even like the sport, like you know, even just making it to the league in general, you're already like an elitist, you know. I think 3% of the population are going to actually make it. And then even within that 3%, like there's only a handful that play past their 3 years, kind of, lifespan. And then on top of that, trying to stay healthy, trying to get to your second contract, being on one squad, like all that stuff, man. Like it's just not what the media or it's not what the storybook would tell you it is. Like there's a whole other underbelly that I like to, expose or explain to guys just so that they know that they're getting into it. Like even in that, like, I mean, you can even talk about the transition. Like once guys either don't make it or once they get cut, you know what I mean? Like some guys, you can never tell them that they weren't going to be Hall of Famers, but there's others that have, insight on what they want to do and maybe how they're going to transition. But I think it should be something either in college or it should be something in the league that kind of cushions guys as they're making their next steps to, their next venture.
Yeah, because most guys going to walk out, going to be either cut or injured, right, to walk away from the game. Dre is one of the few that it was his decision. He said, I want to retire. Like, I'm done. He was healthy. They wanted him. Signed a new contract. Like they wanted him, but not many guys get that opportunity to walk out on their own. And even for him, he spoke on our platform about that transition for him. It hasn't been easy, even with the opportunity or him choosing to walk away from the game. But that's something we talk about all the time. Like it needs to be something in place to help these guys. A lot of these guys have been doing it all their life or most of their life.
Yeah.
And now it's like, either they're not good enough or they got to talk up, what that transition looked like. I don't know if Dre, you want to make a comment, but just how that transition has been for you.
Yeah, it was tough right at the beginning. It was pretty tough for me because I didn't know what to do. Like I said, all I did was play football. Like that was my life. Football was my life. So just up and retiring was like, what am I doing? Like I didn't know what I was doing, man. It was a crazy feeling at first, but I kind of got back on the road, talked to different people, and kind of got back on the road. Got back in school, doing school now, so I'm way better now.
Yeah. No, I can only imagine, bro. It was so it's a life change, man. It's like you're dealing with it's like you need to go through like a grieving
yes.
portion of it, It's like a death almost, something that you've been like your body. For me, and I don't know if you can speak to this too, Dre. Like my body felt a certain kind of way at certain times of the year, you know what I mean? Like right around about May, like I'm kind of chilling a little bit. I'm just kind of starting to ramp up. But like June, like my body almost told me, it's like, no, you need to be ramping it up a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? You're missing something. And it was even to the point, man, where so I went through, it was a lot of change kind of all at once when I finally got done. I just got married, in a new city, got hurt, and basically it's like I think like I can't stay healthy, you know what I mean? Like I gotta go do something different. All that changed kind of at once. On top of, I'm a newlywed, you know what I mean? Trying to figure all this stuff out, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It was signs, bro. I'd be driving down the freeway and my body was used to contact. Like I was used to like bumping into things or like falling on the ground and stuff like that, bro. Where I would hit a pothole in my car and like, kind of get like the chills a little bit, like, ooh, like I needed that, Wow. I was like, bro, like I don't think that's normal, you know what I mean? That ain't something, bro. It was to the point one time, like I didn't do it, I didn't act on it, but it felt like I needed to crash my car. Like, because I was used to the collision. I was used to the contact.
People don't talk about that though. Like you don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like to hear you say that's the first time me really like hearing somebody talk about, but your body was used to being in that type of, even you can consider it like stressful situations because it's, you know what I mean? Like it's the grind. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Grinding, trying to figure it out. But that's the first time I've like kind of heard someone really talk about that. That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about this though. I know because you had the opportunity kind of to sign and be a part of like 3 different organizations, right? And in those 3 different organizations, shortly after you were there, like, these teams went on either to win Super Bowls. Like, talk about just kind of seeing that happen. Like the team go on to win a Super Bowl. You was in the locker room with a lot of those guys. Just talk about that and just, you already kind of talked about a little bit about what you learned as it relates to the NFL. And I'll ask you this. You was around, you seen these guys win, and you seen, what did you ultimately end up learning from the NFL as it relates to the guys that make it and those that don't? But first, I just want you to talk about what it was like to see your teams end up, going on to win Super Bowl, shortly after you were there, man, like that.
Bro, I was sick. I was sick. I left Green Bay. They won a Super Bowl. I left Seattle. They won a Super Bowl. And then the year I got hurt in Baltimore, got released. And I think I'm a transition, man. I leave there. They won a Super Bowl that year. And I was like, bro, like this, you couldn't make this up. I was like, bro, so I grew up a Cowboys fan. And I was like, I used to always make the joke. I was like, somebody need to get in touch with Jerry Jones right now. Y'all talking about y'all want a Super Bowl to the city. Tell him to sign me.
Sign Patrick Williams.
Tell him to sign me. Let me ride for a little bit. Maybe cut me kind of towards the end. And we good, But I was hurt though, bro. But what was the second part of your question?
What did you learn as it relates to the NFL, as it relates to just the people that make it and like those that don't? Now, I'm not really talking about, you can consider first round guys. They just have a longer window of, whatever. But typically those bubble guys, what kind of, what do you think is it that kind of help those make it versus those that don't?
I think that's a twofold. That's a 2-part answer. One, the bubble guys, I think it's all opportunity. And a lot of things kind of come into play when it comes to being healthy, being available, and really being locked in because your chance and your opportunity might be kind of limited. You might only have 1 rep to really show. It might be it might be a rep that you're not really even thinking that you're being evaluated on. It could be a gunner rep, or it could be you're not even you're a wide receiver, but they looking at you. How you hold up on punt team or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know. You never know. So I think it's opportunity, and I think it's being laser focused, man, being ready for your moment. And then the other guys, the other part of the question or that answer is the guys that take it as a they're all the way in, sleeping right, eating right, and it's like that's their job. That's their number 1 priority. Making sure they know their playbook, making sure they get everything. Just exhausting all means you can do in that short amount of time. I think it's guys that really understand kind of the place that they're in, knowing that the window is small, and knowing that that you got to maximize it really. And everything else kind of comes after my job. They understand that like, this is a job for me. I'm a new guy on the job, so I have to put in like that much more effort. I can't be satisfied with having the NFL card or having people know my name. Like I'm not satisfied with the lifestyle. I'm here to like that's gonna be there. Like I'm trying to submit myself and on this team, on this roster. I'm trying to make a career out of this thing while I can.
Absolutely, and Dre, and that's like something that Dre did in terms of being a late round draft pick, not guaranteed to be on the team, but getting the opportunity and never looking back, no matter how many people they drafted to replace him. Like he, and if you want to talk about that, like what that was like for you to kind of grab hold of that and just what that took for you, because again, understanding playbook, understanding, you know what I mean, your role and knowing, you know, at that level, it really comes down to guys really having the smarts too, right? Because at that level, understanding defense schemes and where you fit in, you're not just out there playing football no more. You know what I mean? And Drake, kind of for you, like, you know, you grabbing hold of that thing, what was that kind of, you know, kind of separated you from other guys?
Yeah, man. When I came in, like I knew like me making the team was gonna be tough. So I came in with my head on, like just I had to make the team. Like I had to make the team. Like I had no doubt that I would make the team. So I had to make the team, and I did whatever I could do to kind of get the playbook down and just learn everything I could learn to make the team. Because I really want to make the team. And I knew I had a long shot to make the team because I had a lot of guys in front of me at that point in time. But I just knew I worked them. So I worked everybody and just stayed in the weight room, stayed in the training room, stayed in the film room, just watched a bunch of films, just made sure I knew everything I could know. So I had the best opportunity to make the team. So I just did everything I could to make the team, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I mean that's what I'm saying. You know, like it's. I mean, that's it, really, man.
Being ready for opportunity, just being ready.
You gotta be
ready.
at the drop of a dime. I think I made one of my biggest plays in preseason. Somebody that got hurt, and they were like kind of looking around, like, "We need a receiver." I was just ran out on the field, and they were like, "Hey, you at this position, perfect." I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew what was going on. They didn't have to like coach me up or nothing like that. The very next play, and it was like a 2-minute kind of situation too. Mm-hmm. He went down, he limped off. I ran on. The very next play, they threw me the rock. You know, he made a nice catch, and like I think that's how it happens. You know what I mean? Like, and that's also like how it gets discussed in like in the big rooms and like the you know what I mean for the evaluators. Like it's like, man, look, this dude, we got to keep him. We got to keep, you know what I mean, 18 over 87. 18 was on the sideline, got hurt. I mean, guy got hurt. He ran in there. He knew what he was doing. He's on top of everything. All the, like all those, like that. And that's the part that they don't talk about either. Like all those conversations are being had, man, behind closed doors when they put that team together. You know, it's, hey, man, he going to be, sure, 87 might be a tick faster than him, but 18 is, you can set your watch to him. He's going to be consistent. He's going to be on time. He's gonna give it all he needs to go. You can bet that if somebody goes down, he's gonna be perfect. He can jump right in, no hesitation and pick up right where they left off. Like those conversations are being had, and it's really like you're being like that's the other stressful part kind of about the business. You're being evaluated the time you walk into that building and to the time you leave. Like how you walk in, what you wearing, what you smell like, what your eyes look like what you have for breakfast. Like they look at everything, you know what I mean? And it's and it can get to a point where it's like, man, this is a lot of stress. But also, I think you kind of get callous by it, and it's like, man, whatever, man. Like either I'm gonna make the team or you're not. Like I'm not gonna. You own eggshells every time I walk in this building.
But after your time in the NFL, what was next for you? What is the easy transition for you?
No, I said that already, man. It was one of them things. It was tough just because it was a lot kind of going on at one time. It was being married. It was, grieving and something that I've been doing since I was 6 years old. No longer doing that. Kind of coming to grips to like, man, I'm having these injuries, and it's like, I'm not bouncing back the way that I need to or the way that I want to for a sustainable amount of time. So no, I struggled a lot that first year. It was 2012, 13. I struggled and ended up moving back to Dallas. I was just trying to find my way, really, man. Like I just knew I had a lot of energy. I needed a place to put it, so I started doing like CrossFit, like just to kind of like I need to burn that off of me. And I get up, I find a little group. I do CrossFit with them in the mornings, and even that's weird, man. Like you get people in there that's like, oh man, yeah, man, you should be our gym athlete. We want you to be our guy. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to get a workout. I'm just trying to get my sweat. Like, no, man, hey, man, you snatched 185 pretty good. Hey, man, we can have you doing 275 in no time. And I'm like, for what? Like, why are we lifting that heavy? Like, what game are we about to play? Like, I'm good. I done all that. I'm good. But yeah, I just knew I needed to burn that energy off, man. Then I was like, okay, what's gonna be my next thing? And so then from there, it was I needed to get away from ball for a little bit. I think I was a little sour about how it all ended. And so I did that for like a year. And I actually worked for a nonprofit for a summer food program cat from DeSoto, Mike, cat from DeSoto. I was sitting in the barbershop. We got to talking, and he's like, "Man, bro," he's like, "You never believe. Like, I've been pretty successful in what I've been doing, but like, I don't wear my money though. I don't wear it all on me, you know." He's like, "Bro, like, I do well though." And he's like, "Man, just come holler at me, man. Like, whenever you need, you know what I'm saying, someplace to like kind of just bounce some ideas off of, or like while you in transition, like let me lean on me, let me help you." And this like I said, bro, this is a cat from DeSoto, came through the football program, knew of me. I'd never known him because he was older than me. But yeah, bro, gave me my first job after football. I worked with him for like a year. He had a summer food program. And he had other like little programs. He was just a nonprofit that you just do different things out of, you know. We had a summer food program that we was working with, and one summer we were in a warehouse. And what he would do is he would hire like a lot of like athletes, you know what I mean, that are about to go out to college, or you know what I mean, kind of got an athletic background, and they come work for him. You know, man, it was early mornings. We be packing lunches for like all these different YMCA's and everybody, libraries and things. We get started probably about 5. And, you know, meals got to start going out about 8, but you was just in that warehouse just packing stuff up. And, like, while you was doing it, you just kind of thinking, you was working, it was physical, it kept me occupied. But I found myself after work, you know, we'd be done probably about 1 o'clock every day. I found myself after work, it was a couple guys going on to play ball. I was like, oh, yeah, y'all play ball? Like, I'm not, you know, I just got done. Come on, like, I'll work out with y'all. And before I knew it, I had a little workout group. And I mean, them guys, they come up. They had some running backs, some quarterbacks, linebacker, had some DBs, and we just all going through cone drills and flipping our hips and like just working out. I'm trying to teach them prehab and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, man, I had stopped one day and I was just like, just thank you, God. You know what I mean? Like I hear what you're saying. Like I need to be back around this sport. You know what I mean? I think this is kind of fill the hole that I was looking for, like the void. And so then I started, reaching out to my coaches, reaching out to like some of my old college coaches. I was still, luckily, man, thankfully, I think one of the, the best agents, in the game. You know what I mean? He's not like you don't hear about him a lot, but he has like, he has good clientele. He sat down in my mom's office, man. I mean, my mom's kitchen table when I was, coming out. And he said, man, I got you. He said, I got you. Even after football, like, we're going to be straight. We're going to make something, you're going to be good. And I was like, at the time, I'm like, man, whatever, bro. Like, what do I sign just so I can get, you know what I mean? So you can represent me and I get on the squad. But everything he's ever told me, man, like, it's always came true. Like, hey, Pat, we're going to get you on this squad. We're gonna get you in this workout this week. Phone ring is fine. Hey, we're going to do this. He always had, like, another plan, man. And I love him for that, But I reached out to him, and I was like, and at this point in time, I had a composition notebook where I'm thinking, hey man, I'm gonna open up me a charter school. Hey, I'm gonna open up me a daiquiri shop. I'm gonna have pizza. I'm gonna serve a small little menu. I just got ideas all over the place, and I would tell him to him, and he was just like, I think my last one was I was like, I'm gonna have a concierge service. To where like I know all these guys, man, who come into the city, and I can definitely point them in the right direction where they go, and rental cars and all that kind of stuff. And he was just like, all right, all right, that's what you want to do. And then one day I called him. I was like, hey man, I was like, what you know about I said, what you know about scouting? I said, you're scouting a pretty good job. And he was like, man, I was just waiting on you to come off of like all that other stuff that you was talking about and get back into the arena where you like gonna thrive at. And I was like, all right. He said, man, look, it was a Texas versus the Nation game. He said, man, go out there and meet this guy, do this right here. And again, like he told me to do it. I'm just gonna make sure I do it. I go do it, and I walk away with like so many contacts and so many numbers, and it's just like, man, bro, like that's pretty cool. It happened kind of quick, And it was like, man, we gotta get him an internship. He want an internship or whatever. And I talked to the Raiders, I talked to the Packers, talked to the Cowboys, talked to a couple different teams, man. And it didn't end up happening that year. What ended up happening is one of the Raider scouts, matter of fact, man, Dave McGloin, he former Colorado alumni. I meet him out there, and the funny thing was, I remember my pro day, he approached me. I didn't really know who he was. He approached me. He was with the 49ers at the time. And he said, "Hell yeah, we chopped it up. You whooped the whoop. I went to here, I went here, whatever." And fast forward, he was with the Raiders at the time. I go meet him, shake hands, whatever, we chop it up. And like I said, nothing came from the NFL at that moment. But he and his brother, Scott McCloughan, who's been a GM, for the Washington Football Club and everybody, they go to Colorado for their normal visits. And I was like, "Hey, man, I got a guy." And it was a new staff. They were looking for assistant director of recruiting. He's like, "Man, I got a guy. What about that kid that we met out at such and such? He's from DeSoto. Matter of fact, he went here, played in the league. Yeah, he'd be good for this job." He gave me basically put me in touch with my first job. So I went up there off a recommendation of his, interviewed. And there was people at Colorado that still know me. I kept close contact with them. And bro, I had a Zoom interview. They flew me in to kind of see the the field, the facility, kind of what they were doing, and offered me a job. I was like, yeah. I think I was making I don't know, like 45 or something the first year, which was, it was 45, 50, something like that. But I was like, that's. I mean, this is kind of where I needed to be. It was a great place to kind of get my foot back going. All the while, kind of staying. I always stayed in touch with the people like in Green Bay. Stayed in touch with them. When I left Seattle, stayed in touch with them. Baltimore, when I left them, I really stayed in touch with them. Brother by the name of Vincent Newsom, stayed in touch with him. And you look up, and if I had a question, I had somebody I can call and bounce an idea off of, or like if I was trying to navigate which way I needed to go in terms of a career, I had somebody that would, that knew me and that was going kind of pull me in the right direction.
Relationships, bro, and I think that's something that we want to, highlight, even, as you mentioned, but I try to bring that up too. Man, it's so important, bro. Like relationships in the NFL, that's all it really is. You rarely see just random guy randomly get an opportunity. It don't work like that. They got it's knowing somebody. You know what I mean? Like that's huge.
I think that's
you have the wherewithal though to kind of say, let me just stay in contact, and again, just build relationships, and you never know what it's gonna lead to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I attribute that more so to my parents, to my dad, to my mom. It's like you never know. She made it a big deal. My mom, for sure. Whenever I came back from college, certain people around the community, like, "Hey man, they asked about you, man. Make sure you go by and see them. Hey, go." It was a cat that had a watch repair shop. "Hey man, go by and holler at him, man. He just want to talk to you. He just want to say, you want to see your face. All right, cool." I was like, and I was always like, I wasn't a big talker. Like you gonna see me, but you ain't gonna really hear me, But that taught me how to kind of engage with people and how to talk and carry conversation. I go by and spend 10 minutes. All right, well, I gotta go. I shoot on out of there. Go see your principal. All right, go see them. And it just taught me over time how to stay in touch with people, how to keep those relationships going. I think that's beneficial for football. That's beneficial for business. That's beneficial for life in general. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be reaching out to people just when you need something. You shouldn't be going to talk to people just when you need something. I think I do a pretty good job. But I tell me and my wife talk about it all the time. Like, man, if somebody crosses my mind, I'm gonna shoot you a text. I'm gonna pick up the phone and call you. Hey, bro, I was just thinking about you. Hope you're doing good. And keep it like that. You ain't got to spend a lot of time. Just hey, what's up?
It goes a long way, man. That definitely goes a long way.
Yeah. And I try to tell our younger kids who are, the guys that are coming up under me and my little cousins, just it's all relationship based, man. And I wanna I've actually been talking to. So I told you they gave me a day. It's like a Patrick Williams Day in DeSoto, and I haven't really done a lot with it. But it's been on me, to kind of get it going. I just some community and engagement involvement. But I want to take athletes, man. I want to expose them to every facet of the game. You know what I mean? without actually being on the field. You know, like I want you to know athletic training. I want you to know videography. You know, somebody got a film practice. I want you to know, you know, computer programming. Somebody got to build databases to where you hold all your reports. I want you to know, you know, equipment. Like Baltimore has a you know, I think he's the first African American. Yeah, I think he's the first African American equipment head equipment guy in Baltimore. Love it, and it's, I think it's only like 3 in the league, but you need to know like all these different things that you can be a part, you can be associated with the game without actually being on the field. And for me, that's what scouting was. Like I went to coach too at Colorado. I went from assistant director of recruiting, and then I went to graduate assistant because I thought I wanted to be closer, like with more like, you know, hands-on coaching guys. It's more instant gratification. Scouting is more, you know, down the road. But I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I don't think I talk enough to be a coach, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to really necessarily like recruit around the clock like that. But scouting, I saw the game like more so like a scout. Like I looked at matchups and like, okay, well, this receiver is faster than this corner, so that's probably like we can expose him right there. Or like this linebacker has better lateral quickness than this running back, so I'm not really worried about him missing the tackle in the hole, like that kind of stuff. That's how my mind processes the game. You know what I mean? I see it from that side, and I think, you know, during my time as I was pursuing my career in Baltimore, you know, going through the interview process and interning with them, that's what showed. That coupled with my experience of being in the locker room, with being on the field, you know, it all kind of helped out to where, okay, well, he has a complete knowledge of the game. Now I had to learn the business side of it. Which I've been, you know, it's been fun to see and do, but yeah, man, it's all relationship based, man, and it's all, you know, you kind of like never know who's watching you, you know, so you always want to be kind of like putting your best foot forward, and being proud of a product that you present, even if you don't know you present it.
Absolutely. So you talk about the Colorado, the transition to coaching. Just talk about quickly and briefly how you end up making it back to the NFL. So you're at Colorado, you're coaching. How did you end up making it back to the NFL?
Through that, relationships. I kept in contact. Matter of fact, the guy who cut me in Baltimore came in. You know, he was like, "Hey, you know, we're gonna go this direction here." You know, whoop de whoop. I had actually like I kind of tore something in my calf, like where my Achilles and calf connected. Tore that, and it healed up on its own. I didn't have to have surgery or anything. But he, you know, they cut me, and he was like, I know you're looking at it like, you know, you're better than some of these guys, and I agree. He said, but, you know, you're a little older, and you're just coming off an injury, you know, and it's not looking like you're gonna crack the next. I mean, it's not looking like you're gonna crack the you know, the top 5, you know, receiver position. So we're gonna go ahead and let you go get some of these younger guys a chance. And I was like, you know what, bro? It was 1 year in Seattle. I was cut, resign. I was just like, man, it took such a mental toll on me. I get to Baltimore, he shoot it to me like that. I was like, man, like I really appreciate this. You know, you didn't try to sugarcoat it with me. You kept it up. You know, you kept it a buck with me, and I appreciate it. I asked him, like, man, can I just get your number, just kind of stay in contact with you, just so if I have any other questions down the road, if I'm trying to make, you know, navigate my path, can I reach out to you? He was like, for sure. And I stayed in contact with him. You know, I made the trip. I mean, I made the jump. When I was trying to get into scouting the first year, he was like, man, it just, you know, it might take a while. Just stay at it. I'm like, all right, for sure. And then when I made the jump to Colorado, I was like, hey, so if I take the recruiting position, can you get to scouting from the assistant director of recruiting, or do you need to be like a GA or what? He's like, man, you can get there either way. I'm like, all right, well, cool. And then so I you know, assistant director of recruiting for a year. There's a lot of paperwork. I thought it was gonna be more like film study and, you know, evaluating players. It was like transcript evaluations, which I was like, I'm good on. Then I decided, I was like, you know what, I think, then I was like, let me go GA, did that. I was like, I think I see the game more like a scout. I want to scout. So I blasted my resume. I sent out like 110 resumes to like a GM, assistant GM, president, you know, anybody I can get their hands that I can put a resume on their desk. I sent it to everybody, all 50, anybody I knew somebody at the club or basically all the teams. And I started getting like traction back. I heard back from Miami, Denver, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and it was cool because like Baltimore came in. They called me and said, "Hey, we want to bring you in to for a position for an internship. It was like a training camp internship, and possibly longer." It was Baltimore, it was Green Bay, and it was the Raiders. I went to an interview with them all, and it's crazy, man. Like I was in Green Bay. The guy who signed me to the active roster in Green Bay was Reggie McKenzie. When he was with the Packers, and he's with Miami now. He was with the Raiders when I was coming through.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, well, cool. Like he know me, and I was gonna sign with them, and I ended up signing with Baltimore instead. And the rest has just kind of been going. Like it's been cool because you still got those relationships. I see Reggie all the time at the combine, and same with him. If I think about him, I'm shooting him a text. Hey, just think about you, man. Good luck. Hey, good signing. Tough loss. Man, I hate old buddy got hurt. I know y'all will bounce back, whatever the case may be. But just stay in contact with people.
So talk about the roles and responsibility of a scout.
Ooh, you do a lot. It's obviously you are as a young scout, you're doing more in-house stuff. You kind of getting the lay of the land of kind of how things work in the league and around the organization, and then you kind of you move up to area scout, and you are responsible for a region. So I had like the South, kind of like the Southwest, kind of Texas, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, kind of that kind of stuff. But you basically just an information gatherer. Like you're not making a decision on who you're drafting and like that. What you are the GM's eyes extended.
Mm-hmm.
You see you going out, you're trying to turn over every stone, get as much information. Really, it's all. I'm not sure how it is in other organizations, but in Baltimore, it's heavy on background. Like you need to know who these guys are, what they've done. Injury history, practice habits, all that kind of stuff. And then obviously, you see the player that you like, or if you don't like him, or you kind of just project where he's going to be, where he's going to go. And, you got to have conviction on, hey, I like this guy for this position, for this role. And, he's going to come in and do this. You got to be able to project a little bit. Like, he's not a starter. He's going to be he's a day two get, fringe guy who's going to provide depth in the back end, like that kind of stuff,
It's so detailed, and people don't understand that when you talk about draft process, especially just from a scout perspective. I'm not going to belabor this too long, but like you said, I like that example. You just the GM's eyes extended, right? You just kind of getting that information to help when you get in those draft meetings to help build a draft profile to make sense who it, some people think that when they see the scouts and they try to, they thinking that the scouts are making those decisions. Like it's so many people that kind of add to, ultimately who end up being drafted. Now, when it comes down to, again, free agent signings and stuff like that, scouts may have a little more, leeway into trying to, shoot for different guys. But again, fits, like if this guy's the right fit for this team, the system, it's a lot of different things going to that scouting process, bro, like that people don't think.
Oh yeah, it's man, that's a whole nother. Y'all gotta bring me back, man. That's a whole nother hour and a half conversation, man. We can have that. We can talk about that for a while. But it's long. Short as to the point as I can be, man. It is. There are a lot of points. There's a lot of pieces of information that go into that pot, just to get him even in the position to be kind of like drafted at a certain spot. You can be. You gotta think about it because it's like if you like a guy a lot, it's gonna get elevated to like. Maybe like a regional scout or like a national scout, and then it's like a college director, and then it's like a GM or assistant GM, then a GM. Like it got to go through a lot of different kind of levels for your guy to kind of be in striking distance when your pick is up, and you only get 6 to 8 picks or so.
Right. So we definitely got to bring you back, and we'll be able to dissect that. But just quickly, just talk about maybe one of the favorite guys that you enjoyed scouting that you kind of saw. That could be special, or maybe might have not been a big name, but you might have thought could be special and kind of see it play out in the NFL.
Man, one of the guys that I'll give you two. It'll be quick. One of them is Jalen Hurd. he was out of Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
He was a running back in Tennessee. Ended up going to Baylor as a grad transfer, and he played receiver there, like slot receiver. But like this is a guy that like I think this would kind of like help me jump off like kind of like the scouting career. It's like, oh man, like Pat is like he likes this guy, you know what I mean? Because Jalen was big, he was physical, you know, and he played the game like a kind of like a bully on the outside, which I like. I mean, I like the aggressiveness of it all. So him, and then he ended up going, I think, third round to San Fran. He's been hurt kind of since he's been in the league, but you know, that was one of the guys that like, you know, I could talk about him all day when it came time for draft meetings. And then another guy, man, it was actually a couple of years ago, man, James Crochet. He's from SMU, from Dallas. Crazy. He went to DeSoto. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's biased. You know, he's a, you know, alumni. You got alumni love. But I was like, man, Crochet is a guy who's kind of overachieved his whole life. You know what I mean? Like, was a quarterback, smart, undersized, you know, speed deficient. But like I told him, I think during the draft, man, I said, bro, he got the best hands of anybody I've ever seen. Like the ball hits his hands and it's like a magnet, you know what I mean? Just pop. And I was like, he catches anything that you throw to him. And on top of that, his character, his work ethic, they love him. And so I mean, those were two guys that like I really like. Laviska Shenault Jr., he's another one. I mean, Colorado guy, DeSoto guy, humble brag, but
it sounds a little biased. but
they're good players, though, man. They're good players. They're good players.
Sure, but we definitely got to get you on just kind of really talk about, because there's so much. You talking about character too. That's a whole nother level too. When you talk about scouts, so we'll get you back for that. We've already been going for some time, so we'll wrap this up.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
What advice would you have for a player who wants to one day have a career in scouting?
We said it. Have relationships, man. Take it serious and just, know the game. You know all positions. You know, you can't hone in on just receiver or DB or nothing. You got to know what to look for in an offensive center. You know, you got to know what to look for in a 3-tech. Know what a good right tackle looks like. You know. So yeah, just expand your knowledge of the game. Know everything. Try to be a sponge as much as you can. All things football, situational, position wise, all that.
Absolutely. Well, look, man, Pat, this has been a pleasure just to kind of talk to you. And again, it's a lot of stuff that we didn't even get a chance in terms of just dissecting and diving a little deeper. So we definitely got to get you on to kind of talk a little bit more about specific stuff as it relates to just that scouting side of the NFL. But man, I appreciate you jumping on. Dre, you got anything else for Pat?
Nah, man, just appreciate you coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it, bro.
No, it's been love, man. Hey, don't tell me you're gonna bring me back, man. You kind of got me going now, and I'm like, man, I want to get this stuff away, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate y'all though.
For sure, and again, I think that's a dope thing to really sit down and maybe highlight what it takes to be a scout. So if somebody wants to really know from a person that was in that space and really understand it, really be able to break it down. So we definitely got to get you back on, bro. Again, appreciate you, man. It's always love. We look forward to everything that's moving forward, everything that's going to happen for you moving forward in the future, man. And just thanks again for joining us.
No doubt, man. Hey, who's a better football state? Is it Florida, Louisiana, or Texas?
Listen, go look at the numbers. We can't argue. Go look at the numbers.
Appreciate
it, brother.
All right, y'all. Take it easy.